Today in the Old City is the Spaffords Children's Centre. I sat down with Yantin Dejanii and asked her, what is the Spaffords Children's Centre?
The Spafford Children's Center is a center that cares for children in different ways. It grew out of a children's hospital to the community center as it works now. We aim for a holistic approach to the child, meaning that we look at the child from different angles, not just the physical medical angle, but also preventive treatment, social treatment, psychology services, special education for children who have problems, and treatment for traumatized children in the sense of expressive art therapy, counseling, play therapy, all these kinds of things to help children overcome their problems. And next to that we have a cultural department that has a lot of activities for children and for youth to help them in, how shall I say that, in having things next to their school and home environment where they can come and do something, discover if they have a talent or skill, learn some youth leadership activities, responsibilities, so that they can do something in the society, in the community. And as a last thing, because if you work with children, you also work with mothers. We started women empowerment projects for women, so that they would learn something more and therefore be better able to help their children. They would expand their knowledge, because these lectures are of course mainly geared towards understanding their child, the role of a woman in the society, a life cycle of a woman from a psychological, a physical and a social aspect. So all kinds of things that might concern a woman and that might make her understand her own problems better and how to solve them.
So when was the Children's Centre established?
As a children's center, it was more or less established in the 1980s. But the story started much earlier. The American family Spafford coming to the Holy Land in 1881 after lots of personal tragedies. They settled in the building that is now the Spafford Children's Center. And here they lived for many years till more friends came and joined them, and the building became too small to house them all, and they moved out to another place. But keeping the original building in the old city of Jerusalem, first as a handicraft school for girls and later growing into a hospital. That happened actually in 1925 on Christmas Eve, when the daughter of the original people that came to the Holy Land was going down from the School of Handicrafts to sing carols in Bethlehem, and she met on Christmas Eve this man with a donkey, and on the donkey his sick wife with a baby in her arm. They had been on their way to the hospital, which was located in the old city at the time, but there was no place. The hospital actually was closed because of Christmas Eve. And when she saw this, then of course she took action and she got the woman admitted to the hospital. But the next morning the man came to her with his baby son and said, "Look, my wife died during the night and I cannot care for my son on my own. Can you not take him and raise him?" This is what she did. She brought him to the school for the girls, and she got a nurse for the baby. But when this story got around in the community, then more babies were brought, and more abandoned children. And the building became a home for abandoned babies, foster babies, whatever. And the handicraft school moved out to another place. But when you have a baby home, babies get sick. So you need more care, more nurses, a doctor, and it soon grew into a hospital. And it has been a children's hospital ever since till 1970, when after the 6-day war, the hospital suddenly, instead of in Jordan, found itself in Israel. And there were not enough funds to continue being a charitable hospital. Moreover, the medical standard in Israel was very high, and we definitely could not comply with all the conditions and requests, or not even requests, demands that the Israeli health ministry made to upgrade the hospital. So it was decided to close down as a hospital and become a day clinic. And as such, it stayed a day clinic with vaccination and preventive services till 1987 actually, when the Intifada started and lots of social and psychological problems occurred. And the center started with a social worker, a psychologist, slowly adding more services that were needed till it grew into the center as it works now, with a holistic approach to the child.
Of course, the centre is here in the Old City, and before 1967 that was Jordan. How did the war of 1967 affect the hospital here?
Well, I was not here at the time. I came in 1968 when it was still a hospital, but I was not here during the war. But the stories that I heard is that of course, the threat of war was there, so as many children as possible were sent to their parents. But some parents couldn't come, and there was a remnant of patients. Much of the staff also had gone home, but there stayed a small group. And it was clearly a hospital, so when the Israeli army came in, they came into the building. They wanted to go on the roof because it is a high place and you have a very good view over the surrounding from the roof. But they also protected the hospital, and nothing happened very much. But the after effects, of course, was that yes, suddenly we were into Israel and had to comply with Israeli law and regulations. And that was quite different from what we were used to. Yeah.
Now you say you came here in 1968. What sort of changes have you seen over here in the hospital and Jerusalem itself?
Well, quite a lot of changes. I didn't stay here since 68 all the time. After closing down the hospital section after section till the last closed in 1970, I stayed on for another half year in the clinic. But then I wanted to specialize, and I left the center as it had become then, to pursue my own studies and life. But and this I did partly in America and partly in Holland. I got married in Holland with a Palestinian doctor that I had met during my time here. And he also specialized. And in 1978, when we were both finished with our specialization, we decided to return to Jerusalem. And since 1978, I have stayed here all the time. From 1978 till now, of course, there have been many changes. We have gone through very turbulent times with 2 intifadas and seen the situation deteriorate more and more. But the center has been adjusting to the needs of the people during these times, and at the moment it's functioning as it is, not anymore for all the Palestinians, but only for those that can reach us, which are mainly the ones in Jerusalem, because the building of the separation wall is preventing all our former patients coming to the clinic and using all the services that we have. To help at least the patients in a medical way, we have started outreach clinics in Bethany and in Taipei, where many of our former patients and also new patients are coming now. And we are thinking, if we have enough funding, to also introduce new services there which are very much needed, like speech therapy, psychological services, cultural activities with psychological slant, because most of our activities are having a psychotherapeutic side to it, with lots of counseling and teaching children their culture and artistic skills, which can help them in adjusting to traumatic experiences.
So you must have seen a lot of people come through your doors. Why do you do what you do? You must have seen a lot of people come through your doors. Why do you do what you do here?
Oh, yes, sure. Yes, I've met lots of people. We have had many talks and discussions about situation, about the effects of everything that is happening here. But unfortunately, we do not see much improvement over the time.
Why do you do what you do, though? What's your motivation behind what you do?
Well, I'm a doctor, I'm a trained pediatrician, and I love children, and I do see that if we do not do anything, then this population will be so traumatized, will be still suffering from so many stresses, that there will be no possibility for a change in thinking, in attitude, getting us closer to finding a solution and learning to live together.
Okay, Dr. Yantin, thank you very much.
You're welcome.